Ready, hunt!
From the Opopco Studios in Oklahoma City, this is a Cable Motors OU update. I'm Jenny Carlson. Oklahoma ranks great in sacks and getting sacks. Oklahoma doesn't allow many in their offense, and they sure get them on defense. Travis Haney joins us on the phone. Travis, what do you attribute these fantastic stats to? Great offensive stat and a great defensive stat.
Well, I think you at least have to start with the lines. The offensive and defensive lines are doing their jobs, and the defensive line creating pressure. And we talked about Frank Alexander and Ronald Lewis all season long. Seems like Brent Venables dials up a blitz at just the right time. So guys like Tony Jefferson, Corey Nelson, Tom Wirt, those guys are all around the quarterback every week, and it's created a big difference. And they kind of do it in binges. They had 7 sacks last week against Kansas State, I think 7 against Texas, so that's 14 of their 30-something sacks right there in 2 games. So they just kind of get into this frenzy mode in some weeks. And then for the offensive line, you know, it all kind of works in tandem. Landry Jones is an experienced quarterback. He's got that clock in his head, knows when he needs to get rid of the ball. The receivers are getting open, and the line's doing its job blocking for that 3 to 5 seconds that Landry needs to get the ball out. So everything's gone together. The fact that Landry's only been sacked twice in now 8 games, that's just incredible. You know, I don't care what kind of offense you run, if it's a timing kind of offense, which Oklahoma's often is, the fact that he's getting the ball out on time and to the receivers, that's, you just got to pair the two together and think about what kind of field position has been changed as a result of preventing and causing the sacks.
Yeah, only allowing 2 sacks this Oklahoma offense. Going against Texas A&M, though, on Saturday. Texas A&M, a pretty aggressive defense with Tim DeRuyter. Is there a chance A&M tries to get after Landry Jones and maybe gets to him a little bit on Saturday?
Question. I think they've just got to be creative in how they do it. And I remember going back to that Texas week, we talked a lot about Manny Diaz and those kind of crazy blitzes and chancy sort of risks that they would take. And that didn't really work. I remember he was pressured some, but he always knew how to roll out, get it out of there, and throw it away if he needed to, or just kind of beat the blitz with a screen pass or something like that. They're pretty smart on this side of the ball, too, for Oklahoma. So I think that whatever DeRuyter can dial up, you would think that they've seen it or expect it by this point. I think that if you get 8 games into a season and you've only given up 2 or 3 sacks, I don't think it's a fluke by that point. I think you've proven that you can pass protect, but they're sure going to try. I don't know exactly where A&M's ranked, but I think they're in the top 5 in sacks. So the fact that they've been right there with Oklahoma's defense, that tells you kind of what they've been able to do as well. So it's another test for that offensive line.
Definitely something to watch on Saturday in Norman. Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.
Ready, hunt!